I got PacMan Fever.
PacMan Fever.
It's driving me crazy.
Driving me crazy.
I got PacMan Fever.
PacMan Fever.
Okay.
Well, you know, it lasted a while. We did one good verse. Someone could loop that around and make it. I'm gonna make it into a GIF. You know what?
Okay. Well, welcome to this new episode of Gametalk. And guys, happy birthday, Pac-Man. That's why we were singing PacMan Fever. That's a catchy ass song.
Apparently, we just finished watching like an anime, like a Pac-Man cartoon thing, and apparently Pac-Man has ears and arms and stuff. I mean, on the level, it's about as good as Sonic Boom. I can see it being.
No, Sonic Boom's better than this.
Well, that's just like you being what do you call it?
No, Sonic Boom has funny humor. There's some funny jokes.
That probably has funny humor. I just probably watched it really.
Circumference.
Hold on, I just
Pack to the future.
Hold on. Ben.
In the Pac tense day.
You showed me the first episode of Sonic Boom, and I was like, okay, this show is pretty shitty. You showed me more recent.
The second episode was good. I love
the second episode was too. It's the one where Eggman shows up at their door.
But that was like the second season.
What? They're in the second season. 50 episodes have gone by.
It's been on for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus. Whatever.
Okay.
So it's about as good as that, probably. I don't know.
So I guess since another thing coming up soon is E3, and there's always that constant debate about which console's better.
Consoles are dead.
No,
everything's moving to PC.
Well, not right now. So let's look at the PS4. So the PS4 has its hardware advantage compared to the Xbox One and the Wii U. It's not to the PC, of course. But the thing about the PS4 is that it has pretty much no games. It has a bunch of multi-platform games, AAA games that are broken. It got Bloodborne, I guess, Little Big Planet 3, and a bunch of okay, like, other exclusive. But it's really nothing that would stick out and say, oh, I need to get a PS4 for this game. Maybe Uncharted 4, but that's delayed until 2016. Yeah.
Well, you know, the Xbox is built like a computer.
We're talking about the PlayStation.
Okay, well, whatever. The Xbox is built like a computer. The PlayStation's built with a bunch of custom things. Like, everything's on a custom chip rather than, like, on a Intel or AMD processor or whatever. But, I hate talking about consoles.
Well, so far, like, there's no difference between, like, all the games are coming out on PS4 and Xbox One. So far, they're looking better on the PS4. Graphically, it looks better.
This is such a, what do you call it, diluted thing. For example, someone could think, oh, I like the Xbox so much because I've had an Xbox for so long. And then someone could think, oh, I like the PS4 so much because I've had a PS4 for so long. If you're a PS4 fanboy, you're not going to get an Xbox. I mean, you might get an Xbox, but you're not going to, like,
I know, there's a lot of Xbox 360 people who had Xbox 360s got a PS4 at the launch because the PS4 didn't have that, like, eeriness of the Xbox One with all, like, that horrible, like, E3 they had that year with, like, the Kinect watching you with a $500 price tag.
You know who will always win in the end, though? The companies. Neither side will ever win. The PS4 side and the Xbox side will always lose. It's the companies that just win. Brand loyalty is stupid. Don't.
Yeah, but that's why we need to find the better one.
No, we don't. That's the point. We don't need to find the better one.
The better one is the one you should get.
No, you should get neither.
Well, if you really want one of those games, then you should get one of them.
Fine.
Like, for the Wii U, what the Wii U has for it, as it lacks in hardware, it excels dramatically in games.
Except for the stupid gamepad thing that costs.
The gamepad's pretty cool, but the gamepad, I like the gamepad a lot, even though it kind of, like, limits what you can do with, like, certain other games, but when it works really well, it works well, and it's really fun to use. Like, for example, for games, the Wii U has, like, let's say, Smash Brothers, Bayonetta 2, Hyrule Warriors, Mario Kart 8.
Hold on. I'm waiting for it. Keep going.
Pikmin, both 2 Mario games, as, what other games, really good games they got. Oh, and also games coming out soon, like Splatoon.
Yeah, I knew it. I was waiting for that.
And they're also coming with Star Fox U and Zelda Wii U. And Yoshi's Woolly World, and a bunch of other games, and like Splatoon, which comes out next week, and I'm gonna be playing the demo tomorrow. I'm really excited to play it again.
Really excited to play the demo.
And then, but with Xbox, it's not like a huge decline in like hardware compared to the PS4, but it's definitely not up at the same scale. But it also has a slightly better game library, as it has a slightly like a little bit more games to play. But it's also coming out with Halo soon. And what the Xbox president or whatever dude's
Microsoft or just
the
Xbox.
the leader of over like the
President
of
of
Xbox said that on E3 they're going to be focusing on first party titles, which
well,
is something that
usually first party titles aren't very good.
well, actually that's almost the Wii U's library right there.
Well,
The Wii U's
for
good
like
library.
for the what do you call it? For like these top quote unquote top performing consoles. They reside mostly in third parties because
well, Halo is first party.
yeah, but
Uncharted
Halo's stupid.
well, the games that everyone's looking forward to, like Halo. And
Why? The last Halo thing sucked.
Well, to you, I'm not a big fan of Halo either. But there's this people that are stuck on the console and don't realize that there's so many better FPSs on the PC because it works 8 times better on the PC and it's gonna move like really like fluid movements and it's like much more like precise instead of like the controller.
I think the only thing bad about a PC is that you are working when you're moving the mouse, you're only working with one plane, but it moves around. Like one's rotate, one axis is rotate, and the other one is also rotate most of the time. So it's just 2 axes of rotation.
One thing
Which, unlike the joystick, is pseudo 3-dimensional in its movement, so it's better for. Or the argument I hear say is that it's better for like first person shooters, which I disagree.
No,
I disagree.
It's better for first person shooters than a controller.
I cannot move the joystick so that my thing is shooting at the people. I'm always a little bit too far to the right or too far to the left.
With a controller is
with
controller's not as good for FPS. Controller's the worst for an FPS.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
If you use a keyboard, it's so precise.
Yeah, right.
But racing games, I do give the controller a little bit of credit there. The controller's better for racing games.
I guess.
But the console thing, well, the reason I got a Wii U is because it's when I have a PC, I'm playing all these like bigger games and like these games that are like graphically cool, and then like I play by myself or I can play online. For the Wii U, I got these party games where you can play with friends or just play some like cool game that I always wanted to play. It seemed cool because they actually have pretty good games on there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not buying it for multi-platform games. I'm not gonna buy it for Ubisoft games because if we're gonna get one of those like multi-platform games, I'm gonna get it on PC because it looks better and I got my keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, true. Of course, you know why even bother getting it?
And if
on
the port's
console?
bad, then I'm just not gonna get it because these companies gotta learn to not suck up to these big Microsoft and Sony and make actual good ports. So that's just lost in revenue.
I suppose
That's their fault. That's for them being stupid.
Okay.
Make good ports.
make fine. I mean, honestly, in the end, you could just not port it at all. And just leave it up to the emulators on PC.
Yeah, but that's, like I said last week, that's leaving money on the table.
Whatever.
Okay,
Next topic.
Another thing happening next week is that me and Kyle are going to NWC, Nintendo World Championship.
Surprisingly, there's actually a location very close to us.
We're going to the Schaumburg one?
Yeah, because we're in Illinois.
Yeah.
Chicago, whatever.
It's not that far, so we're going to be going. And expectations, so...
I hope I can enter.
Yeah,
Even though I'm gonna lose in the first round, I really hope that I can enter this thing.
We might be able to play. I might practice a little bit of NES remixes this week because that's what the game believe is.
It's gonna be extreme remixes, right?
Like ultimate NES remix.
Like, what are the goals of the game?
I know it's supposed to be a lot like the original one.
Oh, it's Legend of Zelda kind of thing.
So the first one it was Super Mario collect 50 rings, beat Rad Racer, get to the end, it isn't that long, and get as many points in Tetris as you can.
Oh, I'm good at Tetris. Surprisingly, I'm actually kind of... Besides the singing, I might actually succeed in Tetris.
If you get the Tetris.
Oh, wait, do I have to do all of them in succession?
Yeah, Tetris was the last one last
God
time.
damn it. So I wish I would do Tetris first so I could like get ahead.
If you didn't go fast in the first two, you had like very limited time on Tetris.
Oh, it's based on time?
Well, you get like a certain time limit. And so if you beat the faster you beat the first two, the more time you get in Tetris which is where you get most of your points. Because if you get a full Tetris, boom, that's like insane.
A full Tetris?
A Tetris is
4 blocks. 4 Tetris.
Yeah.
I don't know. So the base of it's 4. It's 4 blocks.
Yeah. So yeah, if you get that full 4-bar clearance thing, that's a lot of points.
Yeah, I know, but I think if I can make it to Tetris fast enough, I can probably
If there's
move
Tetris,
on.
I don't know if there's gonna be Tetris since there's
Come on, you just raised my hopes up to here and then crushed it.
Because
Like
there's no
the Twin Towers.
There might be
on
Dr.
9/11.
Mario, so you can try to get good at Dr. Mario.
No, Dr. Mario, I've never played before.
Well, we can check it out later because I have
after
it.
this. Fair enough.
It's fun, but it's also challenging.
Is it like Tetris?
Kind of, yeah.
Exactly like Tetris?
No.
Okay.
It's different, definitely different. I have a feeling it's gonna be Dr. Mario in there.
Okay. Well, you know what?
But here's another thing that's happening at the finals in LA in like June 14th, I think. They're having 8 special guests.
Who is special guests?
People that are gonna enter. So it's gonna be I don't know. It's special. Like they're secret. So I'm guessing there are gonna be some people from Nintendo. There's gonna be some famous person or something like that.
Probably Adam Levine.
And they're gonna have they're gonna have Mario. Mario's gonna be there.
Mario?
Yeah, definitely Mario.
Oh, who's Browser guy who just got high thing on Nintendo? What was that about?
The guy named Bowser became the head of sales for Nintendo.
Oh, really?
His last name is Bowser.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So, but it's pretty cool. So that's a pretty good good last name for getting the easy job. For Nintendo.
Yeah, right.
Change your last name to a Mario name.
Yeah. Then
You'll be instantly accepted into Nintendo.
Yeah. With a finance degree, but yeah.
Yeah. You can't forget about that part.
Bowser's been studying in his off time.
But what I hope is that's gonna happen at the NWC is that there's gonna be tents around with a bunch of like cool like little Nintendo things where Nintendo like test out stuff, see like a bunch of like cool like Nintendo things, like be able to buy some cool like Nintendo World Championship shirt because I really want one of those.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool if we could actually buy the game. It's probably gonna be on like a disc.
Or a cartridge.
If it's on a cartridge, that would be super cool. In fact, they probably could.
There's a reproductive card of the first one that's not really worth much.
Not that. If they could make the cartridge like make a brand new cartridge, like something that's still just as rare, but instead of having like the 2 ROM chips inside of it, they like you know how 90% of the cartridge was just empty space?
Yeah.
They instead of all that empty space, they put like a small little hard drive in there that holds like hundreds and hundreds of games.
Oh,
that would be awesome.
Play every single game from the SNES and the NES.
No, that would be awesome. I would if they're selling something like that.
Yeah, they're gonna be. I hope they sell some pretty cool stuff. I just want to. Hopefully, there's gonna be some people to see there. And there might be some cool like YouTubers there too. Hopefully, you can see me.
Do any of them live in Chicago?
I don't know, but
back when MLG Hunt used to live in Wisconsin, right?
Well, he actually lived in the suburbs of Chicago first.
Yeah, well, he's probably not gonna come back here.
Yeah, he's in LA. I don't blame him. There's a Best Buy location or the NWC location in LA too.
Who else? Like Wheezy Waiter. He lives in Chicago. I doubt he's gonna be there, but you know.
Yeah. So maybe it should be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. And it's
just walk around with like a vlogging camera, and people just think you're famous.
Yeah.
Just walk around with the camera like that.
It's like what channel are you from? I'm from the cool one.
Yeah, that one, the cool one. What channel?
www.scruple.youtube/youtube.com.
Actually, it's a bunch of weird characters. You actually have to search our name because we have to reach 500 subscribers before we can actually change the channel name.
Yeah.
So
time to make accounts.
Yeah, right. Make 500 different accounts, subscribe to our channel. No,
Okay, so like it's so
we should. I'm definitely gonna walk around with like a phone and pretend to be famous or something.
big day in gaming next few weeks at with E3. It's gonna go pretty intense. Witcher 3 came out recently. It has pretty good reviews. Not a big fan of Witcher series, but can't deny that it looks great. And from what I'm hearing, it's a pretty good game. You should probably check out reviews on that.
The game that we're never gonna reach the same quality as Cory in the House. I don't think any game will ever come close to my favorite game.
Shut up.
Should I put another outro that's like Cory in the House themed?
It's hardcore.
No, it was in Japanese actually.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't realize that.
And it was like sped up like 30.
Sped up because I wanted to put the entire song, but I wanted to keep it in like thing. Sony confirms new UK studio working on high quality Morpheus games. Oh, because of thing. Okay, I think it's obvious now that we're looking up topics.
Well, now we are like.
Because I mentioned it. Whatever. Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, there's this.
Leroy Jenkins might be in a Warcraft movie.
Dude, that would be like the best. I would actually watch that.
Leroy. Even if he had one line, I would watch it. Leroy Jenkins.
Just have one line.
Didn't it come out like 10 years ago, Leroy Jenkins?
Yeah, that was old, dude. That's a classic though.
Yeah, it's way old. So in like 40 years, we're gonna be looking back at this time as the golden age of the internet or something, where all of those like Citizen Kanes of internet videos came out.
Oh, I want to hear this. Okay, apparently the PS4 is the world's most powerful console, according to a new Sony ad.
Well, is it?
Well, it's coming from Sony, so I don't know.
Well then,
not trustworthy.
It's got 6 thumbs up. Maybe. I don't feel like. I think we should just go off on a tangent. Ben said I shouldn't talk about this, but did you know how JPEGs are compressed?
No one cares.
I bet you there are people who care. It's pretty cool, actually. JPEGs are compressed.
Ooh, Nintendo's revealing their E3 plans tomorrow.
So like so your picture is divided into 8x8 squares. So each square is 64 by 64, right? And so for each thing of provenance, like RGB and then luminance, so like the grayscale, it takes that and then it takes the values, then there's this like cosine chart thing, and it will like run these values through the cosine chart, and it'll be like, okay, what cosine will make this the most like will make this thing look the most like something, and it's just like cosine graphs laid on top of each other to like try and mimic what the thing looks like. Then you'll get a bunch of values in the same thing, and it'll tell you what to multiply the cosines by to get that color or whatever, and then that gets multiplied by like just a sheet of numbers, and the numbers will be higher or lower based on whether you want a higher quality or lower quality picture, and then that will be Harrington trees. I don't know. Then those will be turned into like a few numbers where the biggest difference in colors are, or in luminance in this case, and then you'll get like not a lot of values, and a lot of them will be zeros actually. And so what you can do is with these like Huntington trees, or I don't remember what they're called.
I lost you.
You can actually compress those zeros and make it super, super small file size. It's pretty interesting. I never knew I would have to use a cosine graph for more than just cosining stuff.
Right, okay.
Like triangles. Cosine, like cosine.
I've got another topic.
Okay, fair enough. Let's switch.
As you know, there's the creators of Banjo Kazooie are making a new like rip-off type thing. Not really rip-off since they made Banjo Kazooie. Are making like pretty much a clone of Banjo Kazooie with different characters, and that the creator of Mega Man is making pretty much a clone of Mega Man called Mighty Number 9 coming out this year. And now the creator of Castlevania is making a game as a clone of Castlevania coming out soon too. So we got all these like these creators making clones of these older games. That of course they had all rights to do it because they made the game.
Wait, hold on. Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts was like amazing. Why did they need to make another one?
But like, so when you think about it, so we got like these bunch of games, then they're getting like hugely funded on Kickstarter now.
Of course they are. Who wouldn't want another Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts? The best.
Like it's like they're making these new games of like. I mean, they're not the same exact game as like a Mega Man would be, but they're being revitalized. But don't you think we need like more newer like type of games that are just revitalizing the past, which is what seems to be like the new trend now?
Oh yeah, well,
because these games are getting highly funded. It's like that Banjo Kazooie clone has been the highest funded game on Kickstarter in the UK.
Well, hold on. This is a new thing because you have people who grew up with video games in the 80s, right? 80s, 90s, and they're now the people who have money. They're the people who have jobs. They're the people who are like they're like the like middle generation between
especially the people for the Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah, the people who never played video games. The people who played video games as kids, like the old N64 ones, are now growing up, and now they're the
they're
generation.
heading up to college now.
Well, they're not heading up to because they're past college actually.
Well, 1998.
Significantly, yeah. So they'd have to be like, let's say, 12 by that time.
17.
So they'd have to be born in the 80s.
Since the N64, so they'll be like could be from the 20s.
They're probably in their mid-20s.
Graduated. They just recently.
No, they
graduated.
haven't just recently graduated. They graduated a while ago.
Because they'll be 6.
Think about it.
Well,
if they were born the day the N64 was released, they would have never played it.
Well, they probably would have played. When they graduate, they would have been around 17, which is what we are.
Let's say from college.
6. They'll be around like 6 years when they if they graduated recently. It'll be 6 years. They'll be 6 years old when they recently played when they first played the N64.
You're saying that they were 6 years old when they picked it up?
I played the PS2 around when I was 6.
Fine, let's say they were 6. So then the youngest generation of people who played the N64 are probably
more like 7,
maybe graduated.
Yeah, they graduated in like within the last 4 years.
Yeah, that actually makes more sense.
Yeah, okay.
The youngest generation.
We're gonna agree on that. Okay.
The youngest generation graduated within the last 4 years.
So they graduated, they got jobs.
So now they have money, and this new generation that has money is now going to fund these projects to bring back their childhood.
Gaming is definitely more mainstream than it was
back
when the kids were playing the NES grew up, because then most of those people did not really stick along as long. Most of those trickled down off because by that time, gaming was more considered a kid thing.
Yeah. As
there wasn't as many older adults, but now it's coming more.
Well, now you have eventually the people who play games. Eventually, this generation that's just ahead of us is going to grow up, and they're going to be the oldest generation, and then and then everyone's going to have been playing games, and then it's going to become games are going to become like movies.
Yes,
and people are going to play. What do you think is the Citizen Kane of games?
What do you mean?
Like, you know how Citizen Kane completely like changed the movie industry and made like those like cool shots where you're looking down at a person, or like those ones where you're like looking through a window or something. Like it like did all this cool stuff that no one's ever done before, and it changed the way that like films were done. What do you think is that game that did that?
I can't really point out a game. I can point out a console.
Okay, what console?
The Sega Dreamcast.
You think the Dreamcast was
because
Citizen Kane?
It came out a few years after the N64. It's competing with the PS1, but it was like graphically more 8 times more like powerful than the PS1.
Way ahead of its time.
Yeah, way ahead of its time. But that's one of the reasons it was hard to program for it, because it kind of beat itself up that way. But it was way ahead of its time. It had like that weird VMU thing where you can like take it around. It had online. Well, the Sega Genesis had online, but that was It was the first like system to have actual really working online, because the N64 didn't really have online. And I don't think the PS1 had online.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, but this was like the first one built like into the system, no download stuff. It was the first like true online thing. And that's where gaming is now. It's all online.
So you think that was like the Citizen Kane of gaming that changed gaming
Yeah, and if
forever?
I was gonna say a game,
I'd say probably
Mario, since it brought everything, it saved gaming.
Yeah, but that didn't introduce like brand new
I think
things.
it came.
It
Gaming
was still a 2D side scroller.
Yeah, gaming comes in stages. So it started with PacMan, then Mario, then Sonic, because it changed everything. The search, 16-bit and everything, like colors, what you can do with it, the Genesis, and then let's say like Zelda, the Zelda game that came on the SNES. Ocarina of Time was probably the one that
I think the first popular 3D game was probably, I don't remember what that was.
Super Mario. No, for 3D.
I think Super Mario 64.
First 3D was
no, because it had a third-person camera that followed you around in a basically open-world environment. Not really, but like a pseudo-open-world environment. You could climb up the water. Oh wait, that was in the DS version.
No, the only bad thing about Super Mario 64 was that it was on the N64, which would use cartridges, which limited the space like crazy, which is why the N64 really isn't as great as the consoles people say it was. If it used disc, it could easily say it's one of the best consoles of all time, because you were able to make like triple the amount of power you were able to if they didn't use the stupid cartridges.
Honestly, if someone nowadays, if you went back to cartridges, you could store a lot more data on a cartridge than you could on a disc. If you filled it with you could put a flash drive on it, and that would store infinitely more data than on a disc, and it would probably be cheaper. Maybe not.
No, it's more expensive to make a cartridge.
Well, no,
because games were $80 back
oh
then.
yeah, well CDs, true, but like
CDs are cheaper.
No, but besides like the outer plastic and everything, if you just had like the little a teensy, like one of those teensy microcontrollers, those can store like a few
but you have to have the
kilobytes of
casing
data.
and then have the cover.
Oh, it's the casing and the cover and stuff, but you could store more stuff on it if you went back to it.
True, but it's also bulkier and.
Well, now that we have
it's never gonna happen.
No, I know it's never gonna happen. But now that we have downloadable
digital
content,
download.
There's no point to it. But if we didn't have digital download, I'd say we should go back to the cartridge, because store more stuff on it.
Well, I guess that can conclude it for today.
Really, this was a really disappointing episode. I don't think we did as well, honestly.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of felt a little sick.
Oh, really?
I think I have PacMan Fever, PacMan Fever. It's driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy. PacMan Fever, PacMan Fever. Okay, we're done.
Okay, no, wait. Okay, you know what? Now we're done. We're done.